This line from The Little Mermaid has always baffled me.
Betcha on land, they understand, bet they don't reprimand their daughters.
When I was a kid watching this movie, Part of Your World was always my favorite song, and this was always my favorite line from that song. The reason I think I liked this line so much was that it presented a really interesting path the movie could have taken. Like, okay, Ariel wants more. She wants to know what the world looks like outside her little ocean bubble. But this one line makes the audience aware that Ariel has no idea what more really means. She says,
Bet they don't reprimand their daughters.
And we have this thought, like, people on land actually do reprimand their daughters. They do it a lot.
Well, Beaver, when you do things like this, you're going to be surprised at how many bad breaks you get.
And so immediately the movie creates narrative tension. Alfred Hitchcock once said that suspense is created when the audience knows information that the characters don't. That whenever possible, the public must be informed. And from that perspective, this line is a beautiful case of suspension building. We know something that Ariel has no clue about, and so we're excited and nervous to see the day when she realizes what people on land are actually like. But as much as I like this line, when you look at it in the context of the whole movie, you can't help but feel disappointed. The line feels like a broken promise. We hear it and think the movie's gonna go in this really interesting direction. Ariel's gonna leave the ocean, she's gonna live in a little town, and she's gonna see that being on land doesn't solve all of her problems, that in fact, it'll create new ones. But we don't get to see that. After this scene, the plot is far more centered on Ariel wanting Prince Eric and having to court him without using her voice. She doesn't have to adjust to culture on land, she doesn't even have to see what the world is like. Besides the conflict created by Ursula, life on land is basically perfect, and the childlike naivete Ariel shows with this song and this line,
Bet they don't reprimand their daughters,
goes totally unexplored by the movie. I find this all the more disappointing because if the movie had pursued Ariel's ignorance about land as its main conflict, the movie would have been way better than the movie we have. It could have been this sort of slice-of-lifey, fun, coming-of-age story, all about how hard and joyful leaving your home can be. But instead, the second and third acts of the movie always come off as really flaccid to me. Like, who is this Prince Eric guy? Why is she all about him all of a sudden? She was interested in him from the beginning, but this desire was always secondary to how much she wanted to be on land. But by the end, the movie isn't about land. It's not about leaving home, it's not about how Ariel has incorrect preconceptions about what the world is like. It's just this really standard girl wants boy, girl tries to get boy story. It's not even a good version of that story, because Prince Eric is such a nothing.
You look wonderful.
There's a lot of people who don't like The Little Mermaid from a feminist perspective. It's weird that Ariel gives up her voice and tries to kiss this guy. The whole thing is just a little skeevy, and I think that the feminist criticism is a valid one. But I think that Ariel's wordless pursuit of Eric speaks to a much more fundamental problem in the film. Because where they chose to go with this plot has nothing to do with Ariel, has nothing to do with what she wants or what she thinks she knows. It's telling that for all our protagonist romanticizes land, how much she craves to be part of our world, that once she gets there, she doesn't learn anything about it or anything about herself. By the way, in case you're one of the million people who are probably worried sick right now, I still have a video coming out this Friday. I'm just gonna make some shorter video essays sometimes. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I might just make an essay about you. See you next time.
Sure, she's got everything.